Hey everybody, what's up? Claudio Val here. I finally added the hashtag Man in the Street because I did it last year. I'm actually, Kid in the Street is right over there.
Yes. Check them out.
The Kid in the Street is right there. So this first broadcast that I'm using Man in the Street that I've been here, I completely forgot. But anyways, so I'm sitting here in the press room and a lot of amazing folks here, and I'm standing right here with Glen. So Glen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Glen Irvin, and I'm actually here on behalf of our podcast on education, but I had the privilege of yesterday going to the Badge Summit and being around just amazing people, including yourself.
Oh, well, thank you.
And talking about gamification, game-based learning, and all the things that we can do in our classrooms to just really engage all our students, really bring them into the lessons.
And I was fortunate enough to be there yesterday, as you mentioned, and different sessions going on. And I hopped into, actually I did Periscope a little bit of your session. My battery was like running low, so I was like, I have to cut here, but it's kind of give people like teaser, give me more, so I'll come back later. So, but there was a panel, you were there, and there was two other gentlemen,
Yes.
and then Audrey was kind of being the
Moderator,
thank you. The brain it's been a long day, tired
already.
But interesting thing. So we were just chatting here, talking about because you teach Spanish.
Yes.
And in the conversation we were having here yesterday, we were talking about gamification, but you would do something interesting with teaching Spanish, but using Minecraft
Yes.
to do it. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So usually I talk to other teachers and really encourage them to use it. Minecraft is, I tell them, the best tool to be able to use for game-based learning because you can make it whatever you want it to actually be. So it is so open that you decide and you create the lessons within it, and it all kind of, you can basically do whatever you want it to do. So I was able to basically turn in or convert a bunch of the different things that I was using in class that were semi-engaging. They were okay to really have kids just playing the game while they were speaking in Spanish. So different things like commerce or buying and selling houses, creating all kinds of different things, but our main overall rule, our overarching rule was that we could only speak in the second language.
Oh, wow.
And so they would interact with each other, kind of in a computer lab setting, but all speaking in Spanish, had teams doing different things, and sometimes it was collaborative missions to do certain things. Sometimes it was all of us fight against a specific type of monster, build up ourselves, and then be able to reflect on certain things.
Cool.
So it was like silly stuff.
I like that.
But in the end, really making sure that I wanted to make them passionate about coming to class and talk about the class and say, hey, I want to come to school.
That's pretty. That is really neat. What grade did you?
This is a high school kid.
High school. Wow.
Yes.
So do you have all grades or?
Yeah. So this specifically was for like high school level because 10th graders through seniors, basically.
Okay.
But man, it works. I've seen some amazing things done at the middle school levels and at the elementary levels. You could suck kids in to be able to do this. Yes.
Really. And when I heard him talking about that yesterday, and right now we were chatting about it's in here, and it's just like my son's 20, and he really loved school growing up, but he's always been. He started with the Game Boy, and he just loves games.
Yes.
But when he got to high school, it was. He just lost interest, and he's a smart kid. And I don't say it because it's my son, But if he weren't my son, I was like, he's a smart kid. But school was just not. Yes. And I think if he'd had something like that, I think it would have flourished. It would have. Even it might not have been a Spanish class, but a different class. But
yes.
Using some aspects of what you're doing, whether it's in Minecraft or something else. What like if someone were like listening right now,
yes.
And they're like, okay, I want to try this. What is one thing you would say, do this first or try this?
Yeah, sure. Like game-based learning, like actually delving into something like Minecraft is going to take some like time and planning and training. You're going to have to, you wouldn't want to do those things. But if you just want to delve in, I would take a look at one of the guys that was on the panel with me, Michael Matera. He has a book basically about just using game elements, just being playful, and then pulling those elements into your class to say, hey, this can be actually a fun place to learn at, and we can use some of those elements that compel us to play games to be able to pull them into the classroom. And that's really, his book, Teach Like a Pirate. No, not Teach Like a Pirate. play.
Play.
I was gonna say.
Okay, what? So
Yeah, yes, it was-
Matt Matura, you said?
Yeah, it's explore like a pirate.
Explore like a pirate.
I don't know
Okay.
why I'd say teach like a pirate. Yes, but that's the other series.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did the other
yes.
series.
So explore like a pirate is basically it just runs through. He's a middle school teacher or or upper elementary school teacher, and just him pulling out different elements. And really, what he was wanting to do was. Compel kids to want to be in his classroom, like really say, "Hey, this is awesome, and this is such a fun and different place than what they're used to." And then by the time that they get into high school, that's what I always talk about right at the beginning of my presentations. Is many of my students are already burned out, and they're like 16 years old, and they don't even want to come to school, much less like participate.
Like I was saying about my son.
Yes, participate. And so that's what we're trying to change as far as with that. But what you would be able to do, I would say, read that book, Explore Like a Pirate. The other things that you can go ahead and do are just check out the chats. There's a chat called XP Lap, so Explore Like a Pirate. And there's also a Games for Ed chat. And all we do is just talk about like ideas that we have or things that we use in our classrooms. And for example, on my Twitter profile, there's a link there, or it's a saved tweet that just has all of my stuff.
Okay.
Because we all share all of our things. We want people to go ahead and start using our stuff too.
Well, and I think the key thing you said was having fun.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, when my wife teaches kinder.
Yes.
And they're set up in they got a table over here for this, table for that, and this and that, and then they get older, and then we're like, everybody face forward
in rows,
and
school's not fun anymore.
and school's not fun.
Yes.
And so
it has to be real serious for some reason.
You
Yes.
got to be fun. I mean, like we're here, and we're having fun learning.
Absolutely.
God forbid teachers have fun. I mean, come on, what?
Yes.
I think that's the key thing. It's the fun, making it fun, and I think bringing back the fun aspect.
Absolutely.
And you're using what kids are doing with gaming and Minecraft, whatever it be.
Yes.
But it's great. Thanks so much for sharing. And you said you had a podcast.
Yes, it's on education, and it's a podcast for teachers by teachers.
Cool.
And so we bring on guests. We'll probably bring you on too at some point.
I would love to. I would love to.
Yep, about all issues, things all the way from politics to basically things that are happening that are awesome in people's classrooms. And so check it out and see if you like it.
So one more time, what was the podcast?
On education.
And then what's your Twitter? Where can people find it?
My Twitter is Irv Spanish, so IRV Spanish.
Awesome.
Yes.
And I'm Claudio Zavala here again. If you're following us on #PassTheScopeEDU, also look up PassTheScopeEDU.com. You can follow all the different Pass the Scopes that are happening throughout ISTE. For those of you not at ISTE, that's what we're doing for you, so you can kind of get a little feel of what's happening here.
Yes.
So peace. Thanks for hanging out.